Welcome back, guys. Episode 17 of Gothic 2 Remaster Mod, Night the Raven, all that good stuff. Let's speak to Sagita, because we traveled quite a long way from civilization to get to her.
All by yourself out here?
Tell me what you want of me, and then go away. I'm busy.
She definitely sounds like a witch.
Who are you?
You haven't heard of me then. Herb witch, they say. Quack, they call me. But when they're in a bad way, they all suddenly remember good old Sagita and her healing herbs.
What are you doing out here?
I've been living here for as long as I can remember, attending to my herbs. The forest is my friend. It offers me all that I need.
Can you heal me?
That's what you came for, isn't it? Just let me know when there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, we're at full health, don't need healing right now. Let's talk about Thekla's package.
Thekla sent me to pick up a package for her.
Ah, yes. I had actually expected her days ago. Here's the package. Take good care of it.
I sure will.
What wares do you have to offer?
Tell me what you want.
Nothing just as yet, but in future chapters she'll have a King Sorrel, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll definitely pass by her place later.
Can you teach me your herbal lore?
How interesting. I don't get asked that very often. So you want to be my student? Then you'll first have to prove your request is serious. At the moment, I am working on a very rare potion made from exquisite herbs and juices. If you can get me one ingredient, a very rare herb, which I don't have here, I shall train you.
The Sun Aloe.
What ingredient is that?
It's an extremely rare plant, an herb called sun aloe. You can recognize it by its intensive almond scent.
Almond scent? So excrements of a black troll, almond scent?
Where can I find this ingredient?
Really?
The herb I require only grows in places where it can get all the nutrients it needs. These are found in the excrements of a black troll. That's why it's so difficult for me to get the herb, you see?
Let's see if I can get hold of it somewhere.
Well then, good luck with your search.
Thank you very much. So, as far as I know, there's only one Sun Aloe plant in the whole game. At one point, I thought there were two. Could have swore some time ago I saw one in the Valley of Mines, not far from the bridge where you cross to get to the former old camp, where the bridge guards were stationed. But I think my memory is playing tricks. So it's just one item of that sort. It's found very close to the Black Troll, and we'll get our hands on it quite soon, once we get in that area. Right, so we got the package for Thekla. Our next destination will be Sekop's farm, because we didn't talk to anyone there. Let's do a save right here. Now I need to be a bit careful that I don't pass by a few wargs in this place. So you see that farm up in the distance. I'll do my best to draw a line, an invisible line, and head straight to that house you see in the distance, just to avoid alarming the wargs. There should be two wargs. There they are, on the a bit far away, but I don't want to attract their attention because they'll chop me to pieces in seconds. Alright, we've arrived at Sekop's place unscathed. A good sign. Let's take a nap. Mr. Sekop, sir?
What are you doing on my land? There's nothing here to steal. Clear off.
Isn't there a piece of land in this blasted country that doesn't belong to anyone?
Go to work. Then maybe someday you can call a piece of land your own. But until then, kindly loaf around somewhere else.
I'm not a loafer.
Listen,
I don't have any work for you at the moment. Now go.
Alright, you can fuck off. See you later when the Seekers invade your place. Let's talk to his wife, which is a bit more talkative.
hey, you. Everything all right with you?
Well, it's so-so. My back hurts from all this hard labor. What are you doing here? I don't get visitors here all that often. Usually it's either some cutthroats from the mountains or those horrible militia soldiers from the city. They've been raiding our farm rather frequently lately. But you don't look like you're one of them, or are you?
Nope, I'm not.
What are you doing here?
I've been asking myself that for several years. Sekab, my husband, has fallen out with everyone in the area by now. He's in debt everywhere, and so he steals goods from Onar's stocks and sells them in town. By now, he's accumulated a fortune with his underhanded dealings, and he works our field hands until their backs break. His own people call him nothing but slave driver these days. I'm not particularly proud to call myself the wife of Sekab. Believe me, sometimes I wish the barrier were still in place. Would you like to buy something to eat? Or perhaps something for hunting in the forest?
Well, at least Sekab brings home the bacon, so it could get worse. He seems to be acquiring a lot of riches right now, even though I'm not convinced to who exactly in the city he's trading with. As from the lore I gather from Gothic 2, he isn't trading with anyone from town. But anyway.
Barrier?
Well, it's the dome that used to enclose the old Valley of Mines. Many of the farmers and workers who committed a crime back then were simply tossed in there, and they never came back.
Yeah, I know pretty much all about that.
Why did the militia attack you on your farms here?
Because there's nobody there to prevent them from simply plundering our farms instead of buying our goods. The king is far away, and we just have to put up with working for Onar and hoping that Onar will send help when we really need it.
What does Onar's help look like?
Sometimes we receive warning in advance when some militiamen are planning to pay us a visit on their own account to rob us. Then we send somebody to the old landowner to ask him for help. And then usually, it doesn't take long for the mercenaries he pays to come here and chase off the militia. But when all is said and done, the mercenaries aren't much better.
There's no militiamen in this whole game on this land.
Have you ever been at the barrier?
No, we only heard about it. Bengar, the farmer on the high pastures, can surely tell you more about that. His farm is quite close to the pass which leads to the Valley of Mines.
There are militiamen harassing Bengar, though.
How can I get to Bengar's farm?
Go ask Balthazar. He's our shepherd. He sometimes leads his animals to graze on Bengar's pastures up there. He'll be able to tell you how to get there.
No worries, we know all that.
Keep your chin up.
Take care of yourself and don't let them get to you.
Thanks for that, I won't.
What can you offer me?
What do you want?
Fortunately, she doesn't have apples to sell, but I'll buy her these bolts, because we'll use a crossbow later on. I could buy this. Excuse me. Could buy this war crossbow. Yeah, why not? Let's see what we can sell. We can sell this, and this, and this, and this. I'll keep that for a bit more time. Keep these. Sell this, sell this, sell this. Alright, I guess that's fine. Their son Till is over here, but I won't talk to him just yet. I want to deal with Bronco first. And before Bronco, let's speak to the shepherd in service right here, Mr. Balthazar, who will have a quest for us quite soon.
How are things?
Ah, a new face
Yeah.
on the farm. Has the old skinflint finally granted me an apprentice?
I'm not an apprentice.
Oh, I see. I'm not as young as I used to be, you know, and I've been waiting for a replacement for years. You aren't here because the neighbors are annoyed, are you?
Nope.
What's the work you do here?
Oh, I guard the sheep, and I've been doing that for as long as I can remember. The animals are very loyal and very smart, you see. If you treat them well, they'll follow you for a lifetime.
Have you seen any bandits passing through here?
I certainly have. They passed along the edge of the field near Sekob's farm and entered the forest to the north. If my eyes didn't deceive me, they were also dragging a young woman along to the forest. I really hope they left her alone. Well, I'm just glad they stayed away from our farm.
Yeah, that was Lucia he was on about.
What's the trouble with your neighbors?
The grass on this side of the big field is always so stunted and dry, so I mostly go to the big pastures of the other farmers. Oh, the landowner doesn't mind, but Bengar, the farmer on the high pastures, always makes a big deal out of it when I take the animals up there. He says Sekob should pay if I take his animals onto Bengar's pasture, but Sekob won't spend a measly coin for that, so I can't go up onto the plateau anymore.
Typical of Sekob, just a cheapskate.
Where can I find the high
Follow this path if you stick to...
Yeah, we know all that.
Everything else all right?
Oh, I can't complain. Thanks for asking.
This should launch the quest for the Forbidden Pasture.
Maybe I should talk to Bengar.
You do that for me? What will you tell him? I mean, I don't want any trouble, you hear?
We'll see about that.
You know what? Let's speak to this motherfucker right here, Till, before we deal with Bronco. I've changed my mind. Before we beat up Bronco, let's extort some money from this guy.
Well, kiddo?
That's no way for a farmhand to talk to me. Just how often do I have to remind you?
Farmhand?
Are you in charge here?
No, I'm only Sekop's son. But once my old man is no longer with us, then all the land you can see here will belong to me.
Amazing. Is that how you always treat your field workers?
Of course, they need that. Whoever doesn't toe the line here gets thrashed. That's the way it goes.
You don't look like someone who can thrash anyone.
So what do you do when you're not busy playing ruler of the farm?
Stand guard. The filthy militiamen from the city are coming onto our land more and more often and stealing everything they can get their hands on. Only last week the bastards were here, and they took some of our sheep. If I could get my hands on one of them, I'd make short work of him.
But of course.
Who are these invisible militiamen that keep visiting Sekop's farm that we never see in any part of the game?
Why don't the mercenaries help you against the militia?
Before they even turn up, I've already driven them off.
Oh yeah, with your big muscles, huh? Okay, let's deal with Bronco first then, because we don't have the dialogue yet with Till. Let's approach him from this side. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that stupid animation, just lunging onto us. So this should be a bit more difficult of a battle. What do we got? We're too weak for this. We need to use the fine sword for now.
So where are we headed then?
Are you the foreman here?
I'll give you one upside the head, you rascal. If you want to go ambling across my land, you'll pay me 5 gold coins, or you're in for a good thrashing.
5 gold coins is not a lot, but he kind of messed with our ego a bit, so we'll just have to teach him a lesson.
Your land? Are you the farmer here?
You can bet on that. Why else would I make you pay me a toll? I don't mind if you go ask the others about me.
5 gold's not a bad investment, especially if you don't think you can handle Bronco in a 1v1. But I think I can do it.
Forget it. You won't get anything from me.
Then I'm afraid I'm gonna have to tan your hide.
Tan your hide.
Come on and try it then.
Well, in that case...
Wow. Got a crit, man. He does the step back quite often. And he blocks sometimes. Luckily we have a bit of range with this fine sword, and we can get to him. Plus he's kind of slow because he's using that shitty two-hander called Woodcutter's Axe. And you can see one of the advantages of one-handed weapons: they're much faster. You can move a lot faster with them. Let's just wait until he wakes up and we can set him to work, because he's lazy bones.
Try that again.
So, still got that big mouth?
Don't beat me, please. I'll even go back to work, okay?
Where did your cojones went? That's enough to send him back to work. Let's speak to Till.
Hey, you! There's this guy who demands a toll from every passerby, claiming he's the farmer.
Yes, I know. That's Bronco. He does whatever he wants. Not that I haven't pounded it into him 1,000 times that he should finally get back to work.
But...
he just doesn't do it. My father's quite annoyed with me that I still haven't managed to persuade him to go back to work.
I think you're scared shitless to fight him. Just my opinion.
maybe I can help you.
Do you mean that? Okay, listen. If you can get Bronco to go back to work, I'll pay you, shall we say, 10 gold pieces?
10?
What do you say?
I want more.
No problem, but I want more money.
All right, 20 gold pieces then.
More.
I want more.
30?
More.
I want more.
Maybe 50?
Yeah, that's the max you can get from him.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
But hurry up about it.
Hey, you! Is anyone...
Leave me
What? Where's our option? As far as I know, we send Bronco back to work. Do we need to have another dialogue with him? There he is.
Hey! So, still got...
Don't beat me. I'll even...
Alright, that's the second time we got that dialogue. Does that launch Till's dialogue? Curious now. We did everything we had to.
Hey, you! Bronco's
Yes,
back at
sir.
work.
Really? That's terrific.
Yeah, and now I want my cash.
Well, business is business, right?
Exactly, my friend. Business is business. 50 gold, thank you very much. Now let's continue in our way towards the big farm, Onar's farm. And how far are we from level 11? Quite far, about 4,000 XP. Let's deal with a few raiders and scavengers on our way then. One at a time, if possible. Jesus, the vegetation is high as fuck in this place. That's one thing I don't like about this mod. It's just useless crap everywhere, and hides quite important stuff like animals and loot, including rare plants, which I hate. Okay, I guess they have their own meeting. It's quite rare that you see wolves running after scavengers and scavengers not engaging in a fight. I think I've heard a wolf. Was that the one I heard? Yeah, he's too far away. I don't want to wander deep into the woods because I might attract the attention of more nasty creatures such as wargs or shadow beasts. These are quite easy to fight. Are there more? Yeah, there should be more. Them two over there. 3, actually. Alright. Let's pull them up individually. Ouch. You bitch. Ooh, nice crit. Next up, door behind door number 3. Alright then, where are we? About 3000 XP away. Alright then. Let's finally head on towards the farm. And on our way we should see a strange crypt and a chapel. Let's visit them since we're very close to both. Let's go to this chapel first, right next to Dar. See if there's any loot to be had. There's a satchel. Old stone tablet. We'll give that to Vatras later on. Some candlesticks. Anything else? Apparently not. Alright. I'll have to avoid attracting a few goblin skellies. I think 3 of them should be somewhere around there. I'll need to tread a bit more carefully this time. Because those can get a bit annoying, a bit very annoying, especially as they dance around like idiots. Think we can deal quite a healthy amount of damage right now with our fine sword and our 77 strength, but our armor is absolute shit. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's the best it could be in the first chapter. Uh-oh. I've heard some goblin skellies over there. I can deal with blood flies, but I don't want to deal with those fuckers. There you go, 3 blood flies taken care of, and this wonderful graveyard music just started playing. I love this track a lot. Hello world. there are these skellies. Let's do our best to not attract their attention right now. Even though I might be able to deal with them, but as far as I know, all three should come at the same time towards me, and I don't want that. Where is this fucker going? Hello? You drunk, man? Drunk bugs. Alright. Let's follow along and search the script. Player doesn't know why he's going there. I love these messages. Kind of Easter eggs, if you look at them in that way. Mighty alien dwarf. Uwe. That sounds like a German's name. Probably someone that worked on this game. Chase. Just resting my ass. Sure, that's what I always say. Not weed. Alright, let's investigate. So this crypt hides a shitload of skeletons, but we shouldn't be hostile unless you provoke them. But for now, I don't see myself as capable to deal with even a crypt guard one at a time. Just going down there to take all the loot, including the King Sorrel. That's at the bottom level, since we're very close to the crypt anyway. So stone tablet, sword, torch, old letter. First let's take the King Sorrel. Should be here. So as you come down the crypt, head on to the left, and here in an alcove you should see the King Sorrel. That's the most important bit of loot, in my opinion, in this place. For now, at least.
I'll never get this open without the right key.
A stone tablet, a crypt guard that isn't hostile unless you provoke him. Now, what do we have here? Black ore, I think. Yep, our second piece of black ore found in the game. First one was in that zombie cave, not far from Orland's Tavern. Anything in here? Nope. So all these three crypt guards hold a key that unlock each chest, but we're not as capable right now as to deal with them. Get later on. There's always time. Even though I could do the wave of ice fire rain trick, beat those three, run around and freeze everyone and everything, and then just fire rain their asses. But I'll keep those spells for later on. Let's head on to the farm, and first let's deliver the package to Thekla, and then the package to Cypher. The package we got from the bandit hidden in the warehouse on the harbor. Thekla should give us our second whatchamacallit?
Hey, you!
Soup?
Here's the package from Sagita.
Thanks a lot. So you can make yourself useful after all.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I have some more of your stew?
All right, I'll be nice then. Here, so you won't starve before my very eyes.
This is the second stew you can get from Thekla out of 5. Third one you can get after you join the Mercs, and I will do that. So we have 2 out of 3 Thekla stews, if that's a word, that we can get in Chapter 1. Third one right after we join the Mercs. Now on to Cypher.
Hey! About the swamp weed.
We have more than enough stocks to give him.
Here's a few stalks for you.
Oh, you are my man. You've got my vote.
Thank you very much. And we have the package of swamp weed for him
Would
as well.
this package of swamp weed happen to be yours?
Well, I'll be... Where'd you get that?
It's a long story.
Doesn't matter. Really, you're a decent guy. Here, take this as a reward. Have fun with it. First, let me roll a few.
Thanks, man.
I know who took your weed.
Who? Was it that Bodo?
No, one of the mercenaries did it. Dar.
That bastard. Where is he?
Finding him won't help you. He doesn't have the package anymore. He sold it in Corinus.
Where is he?
Behind the kitchen building on the corner.
I'll flatten him.
Even though we gave Cypher 10 joints and his package of swamp weed all in full, he's still hell-bent on beating Dar's ass. This is fun to watch, even though Dar always gets the shit beat out of him. I've never seen Cypher lose the fight. Not even sure he can lose the fight.
Poor sucker. He didn't even have any gold on you.
I mean, he takes damage.
I think I'd better take this weapon.
You don't have anything to take, dude.
Wait a minute.
He takes damage, but I think he has a shitload more hit points than Dar.
You really gave Dar what for?
Well, we'll see the next time.
Yeah, that felt good.
Not to him, I suppose.
The little beggar has no business going through my chest.
No, he doesn't.
Blabbermouth.
Blabbermouth.
I took his weed. Like hell will I vote for you.
Do you do anything besides smoke?
Sometimes I let some vengeful swamp weed junkies beat me up.
So we gain 100 XP for snitching on Dar to cipher him beating Dar up, but we don't get Dar's vote anymore, but that's the least of our problems. Let's meet the boss of this here establishment.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
To the house, of course.
Onar pays us not to let guys like you in here.
I want to talk to Lee.
What do you want from him?
Man, this ain't the upper quarter, just
He and I go
let me
way
pass.
back.
You're a pal of Lee's? I don't believe a word. But go on in. He doesn't recognize you. You'll know it. Lee's in the right wing. Don't even think about wandering around anywhere else.
Oh, I will. Actually, I'm heading straight onto the left wing. There's Onar, and there's Vasily. Let's save once again, and have a chat with the guy. One of Onar's deputies.
Don't even think about touching anything here.
Has the
Otherwise,
same
you'll
voice
get a
actor as
couple upside
Torloff.
the head. Got it?
I like this voice actor. I think he's done a good job in Gothic 2. On Vasily and Torloff and a few others.
What's your job?
Onar wants me to spend all day keeping an eye on his stuff. He's worried that something will go missing, and I would too in his place. Most of the mercenaries he's hired are former convicts from the penal colony. They'll walk off with everything that isn't nailed down if no one watches out.
But there's a whole bunch of junk here.
There's a whole bunch of junk here.
That's right, and most of it is extremely valuable. Onar collects valuable objects. A simple man like me can hardly afford such luxury. I stick to other things.
And that would be?
I collect old coins.
I've got an old coin here.
Show me. Oh yeah? That won't bring much on the open market. I'll pay you a gold piece for it. Exactly as much as it used to be worth.
We can get 2 gold pieces.
Not quite enough. What about 2?
Nothing doing. I'm not a loony. Beat it.
As I said, we can get 2.
I've got an old coin here.
You know what I'm prepared to pay for it, you dog. 1 gold piece, no more.
We can get 2. And this is how to get 2.
Not quite enough. What about 2?
Ah, damn, all right. 2 gold coins for every old coin you can bring me. That's my final offer.
And this is the max we can get, so don't push your luck. It's a deal.
It's a deal.
Good. Here's 2 gold coins.
Thank you very much. I think we may have more.
Interested in some
Yeah,
more
2
old
more.
coins?
Sure. You still have any?
A few.
Thanks. Here's your money. Bring me all you can find.
Here's your money.
Has anyone tried to steal anything yet?
A few. And I caught them all.
Alright, let's speak with Onar, even though he doesn't have anything major to
Who
say.
let you in here? What are you doing here on my farm?
Everything all right here on the farm?
I don't see how that's any of your business. You don't belong on the farm.
I want to work for you.
I don't need a farmhand right now. My people see to everything else. You have no business here in the house, so get out.
Do I fucking look like a farmhand?
I want to work here as a mercenary.
You? A mercenary? Don't make me laugh. If you were any good as a mercenary, Lee would have told me about you. Now get yourself out of here, pronto.
Dude, have you seen some mercenaries you have in your courtyard? They're fucking blamers.
You're revolting against the city, or so I've heard.
Now listen up. I inherited this farm and this land from my father, and he inherited it from his father. I'm not going to allow that greedy imbecile of a king to make off with all that just in order to feed his useless armies. The war with the orcs has been going on forever. And where do we stand? On the edge of defeat. No, I prefer to defend my farm myself. The money that I save this way can pay for my own army.
Not sure your own army could fight 1,000 orcs.
I want to buy a sheep.
What are you doing here then?
Successfully,
See a
anyway.
sheep anywhere?
If
you want to buy a sheep, go out to the pasture. It's to the right of my house. Have Pepe sell you one.
We'll talk to Pepe soon enough then. Right, and upstairs we should meet his wife, named Maria. And her maid that kind of looks like Valaya from Valaya's mod, Gothic 2.
Who are you?
I am Onar's wife, Maria. What do you want here?
I just wanted to have a look around here.
With all these men on the farm now, there's no peace to be had inside the house. They just keep barging in here.
Me included.
Do the mercenaries bother you?
Oh, well, at least the farm has been a lot safer since the mercenaries came. Back when we were still on our own, the militia came from town all the time to plunder our provisions. They dragged off the better part of the harvest, and they took some sheep too. They did nothing for us in return. A few of those scoundrels even stole from us.
Oh my god.
Tell me about Onar.
He's a good man, a little grumpy and very impatient, but we've all got our faults. I told my husband, "Why do you let the soldiers from the city treat you like that? Do something," I said. So he hired the mercenaries. Now I feel like I'm in the middle of a war. But then, we are at war, aren't we?
Yep.
So what did they steal from you?
Mostly gold and silver. They even took my wedding present, a golden plate. I bet it's now gathering dust in the chest of some filthy city guard.
I bet it is.
Has anything exciting happened here lately?
The paladins passed by here. At first we thought they were going to attack the farm, but they were headed for the Valley of Mines.
Right then, that's it done for this wing. Let's go to the right wing where Lee's stationed, and talk to the big guy.
Who the devil let you in here? What are you doing here? I thought you were dead.
What makes you think that?
Gorn told me it was you who brought down the barrier.
Yes, that was me, all right.
I never would have thought that a man could survive something like that. What brings you here? You aren't here without a reason.
I absolutely must talk to the paladins in town. Can you help me get to them?
What's your business with the paladins?
That's a long story.
I've got time.
Zardoz sent me on a mission. He wants me to obtain a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos.
So you're still allied to that necromancer. I see. And the paladins have this amulet?
As far as I know, yes.
I can help you get to the paladins, but first you need to become one of us.
How can you help me get to the paladins?
Trust me, I've got a plan. I think you're the right man for it. I'll take you to the paladins, and you'll do me a favor. But first, join us.
He doesn't take you to the paladins, he just sends you.
What exactly are you doing here?
Quite simple. I'm gonna see to it that we all get off this island. Onar hired us to defend his farm, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. But our reward is more than just our pay. By helping the farmers, we cut the city off from its provisions. And the less the paladins have to eat, the sooner they'll listen when I finally make them an offer of peace.
What is your offer going to look like?
Essentially, it will be about our pardons and free passage to the mainland. You'll learn more when the time comes.
Gorn told you about me? What happened to him?
You remember him, don't you?
Sure.
Sure.
He got caught by the paladins and was sent back to the Valley of Mines with a penal convoy. If the road to the Valley of Mines wasn't plastered with paladins and orcs, I'd have sent a couple of the boys already to free him. But the way things are, there's no point. Poor devil.
Yep, kind of unlucky for him.
I want to join you.
I'd hope you say that. I can use every able man here. The last mercenaries I accepted have done nothing but stir up trouble. In principle, you can start right away. Well, first there's one or two things we need to get straight, but it's no big deal.
What do I have to get straight before I can join you?
Onar, the landowner, is the one who employs us. You can only stay on the farm with his approval. And then there's the boys. I can only accept you if a majority of the mercenaries agree that you join us. But don't go to Onar before everything is straightened out. He's a very impatient fellow.
I already went there.
How can I convince the mercenaries to vote me in?
By doing what is expected of you as a mercenary, I should say. Talk to Torloff. He's usually outside in front of the house. He'll put you to the test. If you can pass that, you should have earned a large part of the necessary respect. He'll tell you everything else you need to know.
Yeah, he'll put us to the test.
What do you know about the Ring of Water?
I might have known. You just have to mingle in everything, don't you?
Come on, tell me.
I'm only marginally involved in this. I know that this secret guild exists here and that the water mages are behind it. Since the fall of the barrier, I am no longer bound to the agreement I came to with the water mages back then. Of course, I still help when I can, but most of the time, I have my own problems and barely any time for other things. If you want to know more about it, you should probably talk to Kor. He's one of them, as far as I know.
I'll talk to him, but I don't want to spoil that. We're quite capable to do the test of the mercenaries ourselves. This is our weapons merchant, and the merc's place.
Everything fine with you?
So, you want to join us then, hmm? Do you even have a decent weapon?
How did you end up with the mercenaries?
I came with Silvio from the south. We belong to an army of mercenaries which fought against the orcs.
What's your opinion of Silvio?
He's a dangerous fella, and many of the mercenaries who came with him this far listen to what he says. Better not pick a fight with him.
He's invincible at this point
What's
anyway.
your opinion of Lee?
I think that the only thing Lee is really interested in is getting away from this island. He wants to go to the mainland. Seems to have a bone to pick with someone there. At any rate, he does a far better job than Silvio ever could. Moreover, he's a good leader. Most of the time, we can do whatever we want here.
Would you mind if I joined you?
Once you have passed the test, I shall vote for you.
He's another one of those characters that votes for you,
do you have to offer?
if you do the test.
Only the best. Just take a look at him.
Yeah, literally the best weapons in the game. Other than the ore weapons you can forge for yourself. And the Dragon Slicer, one of my favorites. And this crossbow, that as far as I know is the strongest one in the game. If I remember correctly. Doesn't have bolts though, too bad. Right, we've heard a bit about Torloff. Let's meet the guy. One of my favorite NPCs in Gothic 2. Shame about he wasn't given too much screen time in Gothic 1. Doesn't have much of a personality in Gothic 1 or dialogue.
What do you want from me?
I want to join the Mercenaries.
Oh, and why do you think I should be in favor of you being accepted here?
Put me to the test.
To the test.
Did Lee send you to me?
He said you would help me.
Fine, so here we go. There are two things you have to do before you can join us. First, you have to prove that you're capable of mastering the tasks that you will have to fulfill as a mercenary. I'll put you to the test. And second, you have to earn the respect of the other mercenaries.
Mercenaries.
Well, how can I earn the respect of the other mercenaries?
For most of them, it'll be enough if you fulfill your task and pass my test. But you'll have to find some other way of convincing some of them. Some will try and exploit your situation, and others may not like your mug. You should try to get along with as many of the boys as possible. But if nothing else helps, then you can always take part in a duel. If you win, you'll earn the respect of most of them. But watch out that you don't kill one of them by accident, because then you'll have a big problem.
Got my own opinion.
Yeah, I think I've done my share of duels already. Beaten 4 out of 5 of Silvio's men.
Opponents have to have the opportunity to draw their weapons before the first blow. You can't just go and belt one of the men without warning. There has to be some sort of spoken challenge, an insult, or another reason to fight. None of the other men will interfere in a fight like that, unless one of the two gets killed in the duel.
What about you? Will you vote me in?
If you can prove that you can fulfill the duties of a mercenary, yes.
Then another NPC that gives his approval if we pass the test.
What are my duties as a mercenary?
Onar hired us for 2 reasons. He wants us to keep the militia off his back, and he wants us to keep things in order on his farms. That includes collecting the rent when the small farmers won't pay. So, what'll it be?
We'll deal with the militia.
I'll deal with the militia, don't worry.
The farmer Bengar has complained that lately the militia from the city has been getting on his nerves. They're pressuring the farmer, probably trying to make him break with Onar. I want you to go to his farm and make it clear to the militia that they have no business there. Questions?
How can I find Bengar's farm?
In the southwest of the valley is a big stairway that leads to a high plain. That's where Bengar's farm is. If you get lost, ask the farmers in the fields how to find your way around the area.
Oh, I won't get lost, and that's crystal clear. We'll make that crystal clear to the militia. In fact, we'll kill them.
How's my reputation among the mercenaries?
Let's see. Wolf says he has nothing against you joining. Jarvis thinks you're on the right side. Cypher says that for him it was crystal clear that you'd get to join. Something seems to have made him really happy.
I bet.
You seem to have convinced Rod that you're strong enough. Sentenza will vote for you. He says you were a very reasonable man. Buster says you're okay, and Dar says you're a blabbermouth. But his vote doesn't count for very much here. The rest of the mercenaries haven't said anything. Most of them are just waiting to see if you pass the test. At any rate, you won some fair duels already.
Yes,
you're
I
far
have.
from done, kid. If you want us to accept you, you'll have to do something for it.
So doing the test of the mercenaries will push us across the line anyway. Before we end things off, we're at 77. Let's take our belt, ring, and amulet off. Because I'll want to up my strength a bit. This. So now we should be at 59, right? Yeah. Using the learning points trick.
I agree with you completely.
Can you help me improve my...
I could show you how to use your strength. A lot of fighters are very weak because they don't have the technique to use their strength properly. The same is true for dexterity and ranged weapons.
I want to improve my abilities.
Got my own opinion.
Alright, so +5, that should get us at 64 strength, raw, without anything added. Let's do that.
Nothing amazes
Good.
me anymore.
Now you can use your abilities better.
And from now onwards, any strength
I want to improve my abilities.
we'll want to learn will cost us 3 learning points per point, 15 learning points per 5. So probably we're very close to our strength training from teachers being done for the time being. 64, let's equip these, this, and this, and this. Now we're at 82. That sounds a lot better. And we'll be able to arm Paladin's two-hander that has it's a two-handed weapon, so it's a bit slower, but it has way more reach or range than the fine sword. So we'll give the Paladin two-hander a try. We're almost close to using the long sword. That's one-hander and it's way faster. But we'll give the Paladin's two-hander a try. But that's in the next one. Thanks so much for watching this until the end. Take care, guys. See you.
I'm not telling you anything new. I'm not telling you anything new.
Tell me that.